So Rob Moore, who caught a touchdown pass last week, comes up with his 3rd of the season. Here's Mathis on the return. Excellent coverage by the Browns, and a penalty flag is tossed. Stephen Braggs leading the coverage as Mathis tried the circle route and was dropped inside the 10-yard line.
The retreat circle route. All right, here comes Braggs. He's gonna, as he gets the face mask, yes.
First down.
And they only call this a 5-yard penalty. But I'm going to tell you something. When you grab a guy by the head and you completely turn him around, that should be an automatic 15-yard penalty. And I also think that any face mask should be an automatic 15-yard penalty because there's just so much damage that you can do.
Let's start out from their 14-yard line. Again, penalty markers are down as Baxter gets the call. Stopped by Hilliard.
Baxter gets the call. Michael Dean Perry was almost there to take the handoff. There's a holding penalty against the Jets. Michael Dean was in the backfield. Almost had O'Brien before he got the ball away. Boy, is he quick.
Michael Dean Perry in his 4th year out of Clemson. He does have exceptional quickness, has that terrific first step. He went to the Pro Bowl as a starter, his 2nd time in 3 years.
Holding
last season.
57 offense. Correction. 67 offense.
All right,
Still first down.
Johnny Greer with the correction. Dwayne White, the 2nd-year right guard who Bill Belichick told us after practice yesterday is the best run blocker the Browns have seen in all year.
He says he buries you, but he also weighs 312 pounds.
Crowd trying to get into it. Again, a flag is popped. The pass deflected. And the Browns beginning to put some pressure on.
Number 69, Jeff Friswell, the left tackle for the Jets moved before the play. You move, Jeff. Don't say that. You move.
Ball start. 69 offense. Still first down.
Jeff, you moved. Now watch. When you move, you get caught. You're on the outside. Watch him. Is that a movement? And then he told the official, I didn't move. Yes, you did.
So the Jets push back to their 4. It's a first 20. They lead the Browns by the score of 14-0. O'Brien able to complete. Rob Moore helping the Jets out of dangerous territory by picking up 15 on the reception. Richard Brown made the stop.
Anthony Florence, number 25, should have made the play and made the stop. Here's O'Brien passing down here. Excellent call again out of the end zone. He stands in the pocket. He gets hit at the end. Now Rob Moore coming across the middle. He picks up the short man. Watch Moore. He's there to make the catch. Anthony Florence, there he comes, number 25. Should have made the tackle. Did not make the tackle. They still didn't get the first down. It's 2nd and about 5.
The Jets from the 19. Again, the good protection. Penalty marker is down for the intended receiver.
Michael Dean thinks he got held again. Michael Dean Perry, when you see at the end of a pass play, you see O'Brien, number 7, standing there in white. Then you're going to see a brown shirt. And that's usually number 92. He's back there. You better put a couple people on this guy, or you're going to end up without a quarterback.
57 is Clay Matthews.
You know, it's only 2nd down. They ran about 6 plays in this drive. The Jets are going the wrong way.
Holding. 66 offense. Still 2nd down.
Well, we went from the left guard to the right guard. The right guard and the left guard. It's Cadigan this time. Michael Dean, you're so right, Marv, is so quick. His first initial step is just incredible.
It's a 2nd and 14 from the the 10. O'Brien for Baxter. And Brad Baxter works his way to the 19, met by Richard Brown, who has been in on a number of tackles. Richard Brown playing for the injured Mike Johnson. A 3rd down and 5 for the Jets. We're just underway in the 3rd quarter. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Cleveland Stadium. And the Jets with a 14-0 lead, a 16-yard touchdown pass thrown by Blair Thomas to Rob Moore for a 7-0 Jet lead, and then Baxter took it over, capping off a long Jet try to make it 14-0. A completion to Thomas, but the ball knocked out of his hands. We'll have to see what the ruling is. The Browns recover and get it down to the 5. It is called a completed pass and a fumble, and so the Browns with a break. Blair Thomas, the man who coughed it up against the Chicago Bears in that Monday night game, despite the 125-yard day, committed a key fumble, a rare one for Blair. The ball stripped by Steve McMichael, as you recall, but it was Harlan Barnett who was able to run it to the 6-yard line after Thomas coughed it up.
Harlan Barnett actually is the guy that made the play that caused the fumble. The guy that ran with James Jones ran it into the 5-yard line. But Harlan Barnett has the corner sitting down to the outside. What a great play made to keep him from getting the 1st down.
And it will be a 1st and goal
after the review.
Well, they are going to check it out. It may be that they are calling it an incomplete pass.
Well, take a look here on the outside. Now here's the catch. He has the ball. He's taking 2 steps. Barnett, that's a fumble. You cannot reverse this. That is fumble. Picked up by Jones. Jets ball on the 6. I love this. The officials. It's a new one. It used to be inadvertent whistle.
First down.
But now it's, I love it when they say it's called fumble on the field. Okay, you guys upstairs, what do you want to do with it? We're off the hook.
So the Browns looking to take advantage. A 1st and goal for Cleveland. Kozar. Incomplete. Kevin Mack could not hang on. Covered by the strong safety Brian Washington, who had something to do with Mack not able to hang on. Good hit.
Think about not a whole lot of confidence in your running game. You got 1st and goal on the 6 or 7-yard line. You come out and you try to throw. Excellent coverage in the secondary by the Jets defense. Had no place to go. Finally came back and threw the ball to Mack. Would have been a touchdown if he would have caught the ball.
Webster Slaughter flank to the left. Reggie Langhorne in the slot. And it's Mack getting near the goal line. Stopped by Brian Washington.
And there's no question that this is 4-down territory. 4-down territory, what I mean by that is you don't kick a field goal. Field goal doesn't help you. You're down 14-0. I understand you got 12 minutes to go in the 3rd period and you want to put some points on the board, but this is still 4-down territory. You try to get your touchdown now.
And this is an area that the Browns have not been in this year very frequently. As you see in the red zone, only 10 times. Leroy Horde has come on, joining Kevin Mack in the backfield. 3rd and goal from the 1. Here's Mack, and he's in for the touchdown.
Well, the announcer called touchdown, but we haven't seen an official yet put his arms up. They have not called touchdown yet.
The play-by-play announcer also called touchdown.
It looked like Mack was in, but they're going to call now. Okay, here it is. Here it is, the touchdown. Now, does Mack get in? Does the ball cross? Bang. He's there. His back is in. The ball is in. It's on his chest, and he's across the line. That is touchdown.
That appeared.
You were right. The announcer was right.
Thank you so much, Paul. From the naked eye, from this angle, it appeared that he had the ball over the plane. His 3rd touchdown of the season. So the Browns getting right back in it off that fumble by Blair Thomas. And here is the one-time Giant, Matt Stover, adding the extra point. And so the Jets now lead the Browns by the score of 14-7. 3.5 minutes into the third quarter in Cleveland, and the Jets now lead the Browns by the score of 14-7. The kickoff by Stover, handled by Mathis. And Mathis gets across the 25-yard line. Odie Harris involved in the stop right here. Time for a Xerox Sports Facts question. And here it is, Paul. We don't want the answer from you, though. What NFL quarterback has the lowest career interception percentage? And we will provide the answer in just a few minutes.
Sammy Baugh.
First down at the 27-yard line. The Jets back to the offense. Baxter. And he stopped at the 28 by the combination of Anthony Pleasant and Clay Matthews. Let's check out the Hurts 10-minute ticker. Oh, Houston walloping Denver 35-0. Moon just completed the Haywood Jeffries. Washington leading the Bears 10-zip. Minnesota over Detroit. Philly and Tampa Bay still no score. Miami has taken the lead on New England. Dallas over Green Bay, and Seattle and Cincinnati tied at halftime. Second down and 9 for the Jets from their 28. Blair Thomas getting across the 30-yard line.
Blair Thomas runs strong. Clay Matthews can attest to it. He came in to make a hit, and Blair Thomas hit him with his helmet and shoulder pads and knocked him backwards.
Clay Matthews, man who's played for the Browns now in 3 different decades. He has made 5 trips to the Pro Bowl. 14-year veteran, 35 years old.
They say he's playing better than ever. Imagine that.
It's a third down and 5. Browns have come out very tough defensively in the third. O'Brien completing, but way short of the first down. Van Waiters with the hit on Blair Thomas, and this crowd is into it for the first time today.
Do you think Van Waiters is waiting for a flag? He kind of hit Blair Thomas just as the ball got there and pulled back off again. And I know that Bruce Buzzard is upset.
Aguilar will punt from the 16. His second punt of the afternoon. His first off a snap mishandle went for only 26 yards. This a good one. And here's Metcalf. Good coverage by the Jets. A 48-yard punt by Aguilar. Only a 6-yard return. Bobby Houston getting downfield in a hurry. We'll be back after these words. Down from their 28-yard line. The Jets 14 and the Browns 7. Metcalf in motion. And Kozar dumps it off to Mack. Kevin Mack running well. Reaching to the 37. Stopped by the combination of Dennis Byrd and Brian Washington. Well, moments ago, we popped our Xerox Sports Facts question. What NFL quarterback has the lowest career interception percentage? And Paul, no, it was not Sammy Baugh. Bernie Kosar, the NFL's only starting quarterback without an interception this season, and owns the NFL's all-time lowest interception ratio. Hasn't thrown an interception since last December against Atlanta.
That was close, though.
It is a 2nd and 1. And the first down collected by Mack. Washington and Young combined to make the stop. He went for 13.
He went right up the middle for 13. He didn't even hesitate. That hole was wide open in the middle. watch Mack. He does not vary one way or the other. Here he comes right straight up the middle. The first guy to get to him has to be Lonnie Young, the free safety. And that's 13 yards down the field. What a great hole.
Michael Jackson, the rookie from Southern Mississippi, who has been quiet today, flanked to the left. And Webster Slaughter to the right. First down at midfield. Kozar looking for Jackson. And he was covered by Hasty. Michael Jackson, a speed receiver. He caught a 65-yard touchdown pass against New England earlier this season. Had a couple of drops in the Browns' last game 2 weeks ago against the Giants.
But there was super coverage here by James Hasty, and also on the inside, Brian Washington, number 48. In case Michael Jackson cut back towards the middle, they had the double coverage on him.
2nd and 10 from the 50. Jackson left and Slaughter right. Leroy Horde in the backfield now with Kevin Mack. It's Mack off the screen. He gets to the 46, met by the outside linebacker, Mo Lewis, who had a strong game against Miami last week.
The neutral zone must not mean anything in this game, because you got to believe that Lageman was in the neutral zone. He went across and came back. Watch this. Here he is. He's there. The ball is snapped. You see the Tony Jones moves, so there's just no way he can get back out of the neutral zone. Now, once you're in there, the flag should have been thrown.
It's a 3rd down and 6. Now Jackson is flanked to the right side. And Brennan in the slot. Kozar got the time and has the first down, completing with Metcalf.
Now they love him again. See how easy it is? Once you get a first down, you may make a bad play in the first half, but in the second half, this is a new ball game. This is what the coaches say. Metcalf comes out of the backfield, goes out to the outside. Kozar hits him on the outside, catches the ball, makes a nice play, picks up about 14 yards and a first down, and all is forgiven.
And Bernie Kozar now looking at a first down at the Jet 37. Kozar turning it from a difficult season a year ago, bothered by chronic elbow problems, sore thumb. Mack took the hit from Lewis. Bernie Kozar telling us at practice yesterday that he was very concerned about the weather here today, particularly the wind, as were the Jets. But Kozar felt that he has to be careful not to hang his throws, has to keep the throws low. Could be similar to Shea Stadium-like conditions when the Jets played at Shea. Very difficult site for quarterbacks and kickers.
I played in Shea Stadium, and it's one of the worst stadiums to play in other than venues. Not for baseball. We get the baseball living.
2nd and 11. Down at the 38, penalty markers all over the field as Mack just pulls up.
You know, in the first half, you talked about the Cleveland Browns defensive secondary, how small they were.
Ball start. 84, offense. Still 2nd down.
And that was Webster Slaughter called for the false start.
I'll get back to that in a second. But watch Webster Slaughter now. He's on the outside. That is the false start. He kind of, but everybody comes across, and when the whistle's blowing, you don't know whether to stop, keep going. Who is it against? But once the whistle blows, you have to stop. But what I was saying, you talked about the Browns, how small in stature their defensive secondary was. On the other hand, the Jets are enormous as a whole in a defensive secondary.
And that's Webster Slaughter making the point to us. It's the biggest secondary that he'll face all year. Metcalf accelerating. And he's bumped out at the marker by Washington.
What a great block by Kevin Mack, number 34, coming out to the outside. He, along with the offensive line, is the one that really springs Metcalf. Watch 34 on the left of your screen. Here comes Lonnie Young, 31. He just rides him out. Hasty is running downfield with Slaughter, and it just opens up the hole. They pick up the yardage. Beautiful play.
Metcalf going for 15, has a 3rd down and 1 at the Jet 28. Browns coming on here in the 3rd quarter, turning it. And Mack has the first down and more.
The problem for the defense is when you get into 3rd and 1 in the short yardage, you know that Mack is going to carry the ball. You absolutely know that. So you jam everybody on the line of scrimmage. But watch what happens. Once Mack clears the line of scrimmage, there's no one but a safety left. So he just drags the defensive people in the secondary about 6 yards.
This, the 9th play of the drive. Cleveland first down at the Jet 17. Jets with a 14-7 lead. 4.5 left in the 3rd quarter. Penalty marker down as Morris gets the call. Jeff Lageman on the stop.
Got to be holding. It's in the middle of the line. Holding. You know, we've talked about this so many times. This drives a coach absolutely nuts. You got a drive going. You're moving the ball down the field.
70 offense. Still first down.
Rainstra, you're inside the 20-yard line. You've got the ball 1st down and 10. You run a play, you get a holding penalty, and it's now 1st and 20. I mean, it drives you nuts.
And not the 5th penalty against the Browns. They have not been a heavily penalized team this season in contrast to the Jets. 1st and 20 at the 27. A draw for Morris. Mike Brim makes the stop on a hard-driving Joe Morris, who ran for 13.
Lonnie Young's got to say, I'm in a shooting gallery. First of all, Mack knocks me down. Now Horde comes in. 33, Leroy Horde. Watch what he does to Lonnie. Ball. He's down. He just ran over him. And Joe Morris picks up about 12 yards.
It'll be a 2nd down and 7 at the 14-yard line. By Kozar making adjustments. Webster Slaughter on the reception for the 1st down, covered by Mike Brim.
They run a beautiful crossing route with Langhorne and Slaughter. And Langhorne comes to the inside. Watch this. Takes the defensive end. It's almost like a pickoff. There's no place for Brim to go. He cannot stay with him. They get back up to the and pick up what close to the 1st down. But it was a nice pick play.
Well, the calling for the yardsticks, the Browns felt they had it. Webster Slaughter with only his 2nd catch of the day. And it is a first down for Cleveland. It'll be a 1st and goal at the 8. Cleveland Browns with a record of 2 up and 2 down. New York Jets, defensive coordinator Pete Carroll. They are 2 and 3. They bounced back last week with the win over Miami. Browns off last week. Jets go up against Houston next Sunday at home. While the Browns follow today have 2 straight on the road. This is the 11th play of the drive. Here's Mack twisting his way to the 6. Tripped up by Mo Lewis. Quick check of the Hertz 10-minute ticker. See Houston with the big lead. Washington maintaining a 10-0 advantage. Minnesota over Detroit. Now Philadelphia 3-0 in the 3rd. And Miami extends to a 17-7 lead.
That Houston score, that's half. That's halftime.
2nd and goal. Ball outside the 5-yard line. The lone D-back is Kevin Mack.
Give it to Mack 4 times. He already gave it to him once. Nope, he didn't throw.
Kozar couldn't find anyone, and he is stopped at the line by Lageman.
Kozar that time looked to the outside. That play they ran the last time they were down there. Both men were covered. He looked for Mack. Problem was Kevin Mack was blocking at the line of scrimmage to try to save Kozar, and then the worst of all possibilities happens. Bernie has to run, and he takes like 4 steps before he moves anywhere.
You're so kind.
No, I mean, he will run. He's got all the guts in the world, but his legs don't. You know, the upper part of his body, they're not in sync with the lower part.
I get the picture. Now Slaughter flanked to the left. Metcalf is being utilized as a flanker to the right, but a timeout has been taken, and we'll take a break. Back after this. In this third quarter, not able to run in the first half, but they've run well here in the third. This is the 13th play of the drive. It's a 3rd and goal inside the 5. Kozar to the end zone. Touchdown. Leroy Horde was wide open.
Wide open. I'm going to tell you. Mo Lewis is very good. Number 57 for the Jets. But he's not this good. There is no way that he covers Horde and Metcalf alone.
And now Matt Stover will attempt to tie the game. Plays 72 yards, and the Browns had the ball for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. They've come from behind to tie it at 14.
Well, here's Leroy Horde. He comes out, and I said Mo Lewis, there's no way that he covers 2 people, and that's what's going to happen. Leroy Horde is in the end zone. There's 57 Mo. There's Metcalf. There's touchdown.
Turns Mathis, and again terrific coverage by the Browns, led by Stephen Braggs, and the Cleveland Browns have come back from a 14-0 deficit. They've tied the game at 14, and they are a sparked up ball club here in the second half.
Amazing what the defense does when they get a turnover. All right, when you take a look at the defense of the Jets, you're looking on the outside now. I believe right here is Mo Lewis, who is a linebacker, and he's going to end up trying to cover Metcalf and Horde, and it's impossible to do that. The safeties, I don't know where they're going, but there's Mo with 2 guys, and he had no place to go.
That's first down from the 15-yard line on the play action. O'Brien completes to Tune for a first down, just inside the 30. He was hit by Randy Hilliard. Al Tune with his 3rd reception of the day.
Well, Tune just runs a perfect route there because he gets downfield and he gets inside the defensive back, which is Hilliard. Watch this. When he sets in there, even he has to wait on the ball. The timing is not perfect, but O'Brien had all the time to throw the ball, and Tune already beat his man.
That's with their first down this third quarter. 35 seconds remaining in the third. O'Brien going deep for Tune. Oh, what a catch. Tune with the leaping grab picks up 32 more. He did it in front of Stephen Braggs.
Watch Tune's route now. If the ball is out in front, Tune might score. There's Stephen Bragg. Tune has to be, watch, he has to wait for the ball and turn around. Excellent catch and holding on to the ball because Stephen Braggs hit him right after he caught the ball. But if the ball's out far enough, it's touchdown.
Al Tune at 6'4", working against the 5'9" Stephen Braggs. And that's the end of the third. The Jets and the Browns tied at 14. We'll be back after these words from your local station. It has been another impressive performance by Ken O'Brien. Has not been intercepted, has not been sacked. This coming off last week's 18 for 24, 221 yards against the Dolphins. The game tied at 14 as we get going in the fourth. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire from Cleveland, and the Jets with a first down at the Brown 38-yard line. Brad Baxter tries the right side and gets inside the 35. Rob Burnett, 5th-round draft pick last year out of Syracuse, making the tackle. Let's check out the ITT 10-minute ticker. Houston with that big lead on Denver. Washington 10-zip over Chicago. Minnesota maintaining its lead. Philadelphia on an 18-yard field goal by Roger Ruzek. This run now 3-0. Miami 17-7. Coming from behind to lead New England. It's a 2nd and 5 at the 32. And once again, it's Baxter. He has been the primary running back this afternoon. 14 carries for 42 yards. The combination of Matthews and Barnett made the stop. And it is a 1st down for the Jets. Brad Baxter, who had an excellent all-around game last week in his 2nd year out of Alabama State, and now heads to the sideline as the Jets look at a 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 28-yard line. Jets jumped in front 14-0 on an option pass touchdown thrown by Blair Thomas to Rob Moore. Baxter able to score later on in the 2nd quarter, but the Browns have come marching back here in the 3rd. Play action, well executed again. O'Brien goes sideline, could not find anyone, and finally connected with the backup tight end Ken Weisenhunt. Stephen Braggs made the stop.
The only problem with this play, it's a play action pass, and you're using 3 tight ends in the ball game. The only man that you're sending downfield is Rob Moore. He is looking for Rob, but there is double coverage downfield by Hilliard 39 and 22 Newsom. So he has to come back and hit his tight end for a short game. Just heads-up play by the quarterback and also by the tight end.
It's a 2nd down and 6 at the 24. Altoon to the right and Moore in motion. Intended for 2, looking for the call, and he gets it. Interference with Braggs and Barnett involved in the double coverage of Toon.
They're going to call this on Braggs, and you got Toon and Braggs that are tied up. The ball is thrown by O'Brien when they're tied up. Holding
36 defense.
This is an excellent play by the quarterback because he's got to look out here. He's looking to Toon. Watch this. Here, there is holding, but look at Toon. He's got his hands on Braggs also. But see, the ball was thrown when the contact is made. You cannot make contact further than 5 yards down the field. I got to believe that O'Brien read it, threw it, and got the call.
This matchup, Stephen Braggs 5'9", Altoon 6'4", being taken advantage of by the Jets. I feel like I'm watching Patrick Ewing post you up.
You up.
Now 1st down at the 19-yard line, a mix-up on the snap. Michael Dean Perry again showing his quickness.
Delay offense before the snap.
But the delay of game is called. Too much time taken.
They're down in the dog pound end of this stadium, and there's just no way that, even though the whistle was blown way back down in the end zone, there's no way that the offensive and defenses can hear anything.
2.5 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. Jets in Cleveland tied at 14. Jets with their first substantial drive of the 2nd half. Now a 1st down and 15 at the Cleveland 24. Again, the play action. O'Brien on the roll, and it is incomplete, but again a penalty marker is down as Toon this time was tripped up by Hilliard.
Well, he was tackled by Hilliard, but the question of this is, can Toon get to the ball? All right, O'Brien escapes right here. He gets to the outside. Van Waiters can't get there. And watch this throw. Here's the throw. Here's the tackle. The tackle is there. The question is, can Toon get there? But the reason they think that he can is because the ball hits in the playing field. If the ball would have hit out of bounds on the throw, maybe there's a possibility he can't get there. But you can't tackle the receiver.
39 defense.
Hilliard called on the interference. And this drive has been all Al Toon. A couple of pass receptions for long gainers. And now he drew the penalties. First on Braggs and now on Hilliard.
Hey, boo old Johnny Greer. He's just a referee. He's not throwing the flag. He just called it. You're a very unpopular person, John.
First and 10. Out at the Cleveland 13. That's Moore in motion. Now the handoff. Blair Thomas finding the hole on the right side. Jones, Brown combined on the stop.
Were you telling me about Baxter with the pancake deal? Weren't you talking about that earlier? Now I'm going to tell you something.
In your day, did they have the terminology that included pancake?
No, we did. We just did breakfast. Oh. But let me explain something to you. He is a great blocker. Brad Baxter is a great blocker. He gets right to the defensive end, and he's usually blocking either a defensive end or a linebacker.
Second down play, and O'Brien completes. However, Al Toon is stopped. Hilliard all over him. It is a short pickup.
You think Vince Newsom isn't frustrated? Number 22. They got Toon sitting up, and he takes a run at him. I don't think he got a big piece, but at the end of the play here comes Toon in the middle. He's going to be covered by Hilliard, 39. Now watch, Hilliard's holding him up. You're going to see 22 Mark flying by right here. He hit his own man. He hit Stephen Braggs, 36, and missed 2.
Third down, 8. Down at the 11. Randy Hilliard is a very hard hitter. Brown say he's a 160-pound version of Lawrence Taylor. O'Brien with the time, and it's, let's see, it is caught by Moore inside the 5, or is it ruled in? No, it's called incomplete. Did not catch it. Waiters and Braggs on the coverage.
From where you're sitting, there's no way you can see this, Mark, because you have the linesmen and everybody are down there from our position, but you would think the Cleveland Browns would be happier about this whole thing. Moore drops the ball. Braggs, it looks like he caught the ball. And you really can't see that the ball's laying on the ground. I'd be a little bit happier if I were a Cleveland Brown at that point.
So Pat Leahy checks in to attempt a 28-yard field goal. He's 11 for 16 on the season.
Ooh.
And he puts it right through.
You can tell. You know how quiet it is.
Leahy has provided a 3-point lead for the Jets. We welcome you back to Cleveland. Just a moment ago, Pat Leahy converted on a 28-yard field goal. The Jets now lead the Browns by the score of 17-14. Chris Cosworth telling us this. He's been counting his 19th visit to Cleveland Stadium. That's the total as a tight end with Cincinnati, as an assistant coach with the Bengals, and now as head coach of the Jets. 19th visit to Cleveland. The return by Metcalf, and he's able to get across the 20-yard line. Don Boyd, Odegaard.
Oh, they're going to get McMillan. I'm sorry, Mark, for throwing a punch. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty. He got tied up with number 52, Richard Brown, and they're pushing and shoving, and just at the end of it, McMillan decides, I'm going to punch you in the mouth, and you're going to get caught.
Personal foul.
The 52 and 22. Watch it.
22, 15.
There it is. That cost him 15 yards, and it's senseless. He's got a face mask on. The only thing you're going to do is hurt your hand. You make a great play on a kickoff team, and then you get a senseless penalty.
Eric McMillan, coming off a strong game last week as a special teams player, also picked one off and ran it in for a touchdown. It's a first down at the 36 for the Browns. Goes off the roll, completes to Mack. And Mack stiff-arms his way for a first down. Run out by the outside linebacker, Joe Kelly.
This is a screen pass, and you get Babb, and you also get King, 61 and 68 outside the block. That's the center and the right guard and the tackles out there. There's a block right there by Babb. He gets a good block. King really doesn't have to block anybody. And then Mack picks up the first down on the screen.
Troy Johnson has replaced Kyle Clifton, who we're told has been sitting out because of a concussion that he suffered earlier this third quarter. He tried to come back, but now Johnson, a four-year player out of Oklahoma, is in there. Here's the draw for Morris. Mo Lewis made the stop.
Joe Morris, the ball carrier.
Well, the pride and tradition of Notre Dame football will continue next Saturday here on NBC. It's the Irish against Pittsburgh. Pitt off to its best start since opening up at 7-0 back in 1982 when a fellow by the name of Dan Marino was there. Pitt beating Maryland. And Notre Dame last night over Stanford, led by Jerome Bettis, who had 4 touchdowns. That reversed the Stanford victory a year ago, knocking the Irish from the ranking of #1. Here's Kozar going deep for Jackson. It is incomplete.
Michael Jackson is hurt. He landed on his shoulder, and you can see him. I think he just turned around a little bit too soon. Michael Jackson with his eye on the ball. Hasty is with him, number 40. But watch at the end of the play. Michael Jackson seems to turn just a little bit too soon. Now Hasty bumps him, but if he continues to run 2 more steps, he might have been able to catch the ball. He came down, the ball fell out, incompleted pass, but it was spectacular.
And you'll notice that the Browns have opened up the passing game a bit this season for Bernie Kosar. There is Michael Jackson. Unusual to see a wide receiver wearing #1. But Cleveland legitimately ran out of numbers in the 80s series. Browns now calling for a timeout. They have a 3rd down and 8 at midfield, and they will talk it over. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to Cleveland Stadium. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire. There's Michael Jackson trying to work it off. Just landed on his shoulder. Cleveland taking that timeout. Now down to 1 timeout remaining with much time left in this 4th quarter. 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Bernie Kosar has a 3rd down and 8 from the 50. Look out, and down he goes. That's the first sack of the day. Marvin Washington with his 4th of the season.
He fumbled the ball, and Mike Babb came up with it, tried to pick up a first down, but that didn't work. He had all day to throw the ball. You got to give credit to that's a defensive secondary sack, because Bernie had no place to throw the ball.
And here is Brian Hansen, and he'll punt to Terrence Mathis. Big rush. Jets did get one last week. Chris Burkett able to run it in off a Reggie Roby block. This will go down as a 52-yard punt by Hansen. And they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Look at the ITT 10-minute ticker. Minnesota now 17-3 on Detroit. Philadelphia 13-0 in front. Winless Tampa Bay.
Must be a really exciting game.
And Dallas leads Green Bay in the 3rd. Seattle in front of Cincinnati.
Cincinnati could be 0-5.
The Jets starting from their 20. They lead the Browns 17-14. Fred Baxter. Harlan Barnett making the stop.
Baxter, I said, is a great runner straight ahead, but also when you go off tackle, watch him follow the blocking. He waits, sees the hole, and then gets up with his offensive lineman and makes a play. White, number 67, is the guy he's following, and I follow him too at 312 pounds.
Baxter picking up the first down. He's now run for 51 yards. Baxter with the fake, and O'Brien able to hit Dressel. Beautiful play action once again. Waiters made the stop.
Now, O'Brien had to stay in there, play action pass. He's looking downfield again. And in this situation, you only have like 1 or 2 guys down. He's looking for Rob Moore. All right, now here's O'Brien. He's going to throw his wrestle here. Now, is this passing? I mean, is this roughing the passer? I think so. I would call that if I were official. There is no reason for Burnett to throw him on the ground like that.
The Browns have been hard hit in the secondary, have been going without their starting left corner, Frank Minifield, who hurt his shoulder in the second quarter. X-rays, we're told, came up negative. No word on whether he will return. Baxter turning his way across the 35. Richard Brown making the tackle. We're down to 6:45 remaining in this fourth quarter. It's the Jets by virtue of the 28-yard field goal by Pat Leahy on top of the Browns. 17-14. The Jets now have a 3rd down and 3 at the 37. Setting that Jet offensive line. It's Jim Sweeney at center. Dwayne White, Dave Cadigan at the guards. Jeff Criswell and Irv Eatman at the tackles. O'Brien and Blair Thomas short of the first down. He was met by Van Waiters.
He didn't make it, Blair Thomas. The rush was on. Burnett was there, and also Michael Dean Perry in O'Brien's face, so he had no place to throw the ball except to Blair Thomas. But you got to understand why this was so important. First of all, you mentioned before, the Browns only have 1 timeout. You're inside of 6 minutes. The Browns on this drive here must score at least a field goal to tie the game, because they're not going to get the ball back again.
3rd punt of the day for Aguiar. Metcalf is back with Brennan. Metcalf, the deep man.
Whoa.
And he lets it carry into the end zone. This will go as a 61-yard punt. We'll be back after this. It has come down to this. 5:17 remaining. In the fourth quarter, the Jets lead Cleveland 17-14, and the Browns take over at their 20-yard line. Michael Jackson, who landed on his shoulder in the Browns' last series, is back in, so apparently he is all right. And it's Mack stopped at the line by the outside linebacker, Joe Kelly. Well, the last couple of seasons, the Jets have had more than their share of problems blowing fourth quarter leads. Take a look at this. Last year they led after 3 quarters in 7 games. This season led the Bills 20-16 and then were beaten. Led the Bears going to the fourth quarter and lost in overtime. Also last season the Jets in the second half led at halftime in 11 games and won only 6 and lost 5 over the 11 as they finished at 6 up and 10 down. It's a 2nd and 10 from the 20. Gozar looking sideline, has Slaughter and a first down. Stopped by James Hasty.
You know, they're moving the ball up the field, but if you think about it, the Browns are taking too much time in the huddle. If this drive fails at all, they're out of the game because they can't stop the clock but 1 more time and once at the 2 minutes. They are taking entirely too much time. They're using up almost 45 seconds of the clock to get a playoff. And they want to get the ball, I guess, you know, with the swirling wind, I would say inside the 30-yard line before Stover's going to be able to kick it.
Gozar now 14 for 21, 117 yards. Metcalf reaching to the 36, tripped up by Lonnie Young with help from Troy Johnson.
What a great block by Kevin Mack, and it was on Lageman, I think, number 56 on the outside, that opened that thing up for about a 4-yard gain. But again, they're just using too much time on the clock. They're depending on a field goal or a score in this one drive. They've got to use as much of this clock as they can and get as many plays as they can.
2nd and 5 from the 36-yard line. We approach 3 minutes remaining in the fourth. Mack could not get outside. Washington up from his strong safety position with Bill Piquel to stop Kevin Mack. We're set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas.
And Marv, it's an urgent bulletin. The Broncos have scored at the Astrodome to pull to within 35-7. It is a terrific individual effort by Elway, though. He scrambles right. He's nearly caught. And at the last second, he launches it to Steve Sewell for the touchdown. But it's still 35-7 Oilers. Marv?
All right, Bob, 3 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter here in Cleveland. And the Browns have a 3rd down and 5 from their 36-yard line. The play clock down to 2, down to 1. Kozar just does get it off. And Mack drops it. Pass thrown a bit behind him. Mack coming out of the backfield, covered by Hasty.
The Browns really are not organized at this point in time because the play didn't come in, even though the clock was stopped from going out of bounds. The play didn't come in. There's a 45-second clock, but there were only 15 seconds on the clock. So you're looking at all of that time being wasted trying to get a play in, and it didn't work. But there's a flag on the play.
Head coach Bill Belichick in a conversation with Bernie Kosar, that's the Jets defensive coordinator, Pete Carroll.
Holding, 69 offense. Still 3rd down.
That's Dan Fike, the one-time Jet, playing right tackle.
All right, he's matched up against Lagerman. And here's Fike on Lagerman. Is this a hold? Not only a hold, but a tremendous takedown. But I don't understand why they took the penalty. It would have been 4th down in about 6. Why don't you go ahead and make him punt the ball?
Instead, a 3rd and 15 at the 26-yard line with 2:58 remaining in the 4th. Kozar looking for the sideline. Jackson could not get out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it.
They're not going to give him enough for the 1st down, but he's going to be about a half a yard short, and you've got to go for it.
Odegaard made the hit on Jackson. It was a 14-yard pickup, and it will be a 4th, and as you say, about a half yard at the 40.
I don't understand why they didn't refuse the penalty in the first place to make it 4th. Put him in a 4th down situation anyway. But now you give him a 3rd down, a chance to pick up the 1st down. It would have been 4th down in about 6 or 7. Now you're looking at 4th down in about a half a yard.
We're coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 44 Roussan in motion. Here's Mack. Good second effort and has the 1st down. Kevin Mack ripped off 10, getting out to midfield. The 2-minute warning now being provided, and the Browns very much alive.
Kevin Mack, the continuous effort. His legs never stop. He makes a spin move and keeps right on going upfield. And again, why didn't they refuse the penalty?
Urging the home club on. They've come from a 14-0 deficit, tied the game at 14. Pat Leahy with a 28-yard field goal to give the Jets a 17-14 lead. Now the career high for Matt Stover, a 45-yard field goal. There's still some 25 yards out of Stover's range if they have to settle for the tie. Kozar going sideline. A penalty marker is down. The pass intended for Michael Jackson.
Well, they might have 2 pass interference penalties. I think Brim is the guy that was holding Metcalf, but Hasty is there, and he's saying, I didn't hold anybody, who would have been Michael Jackson, number 1, Hasty, number 40. Now, they're talking over, is the ball catchable, or did he hold him? If it's a holding penalty, it's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down.
There is no infraction on the play. The ball was uncatchable. 2nd down.
All right, here we go. There's Hasty on Michael Jackson. Now, the thing that bothers me about this call is, how can the official honest to God say it's not catchable. He's not in that position. We saw Michael Jackson almost make a great catch.
A 2nd and 10 at midfield. Morris to the 45, stopped by Lageman. The Browns have only 1 timeout remaining. The clock is running as we come up on 1 minute and 40 to go in this 4th quarter. The Browns turning it in the 2nd half. They have shut the Jet running game down. The Jets dominated the 1st half in terms of time of possession and did it on the ground, but the Browns able to come back. The Jets holding on to a 17-14 lead. Kozar couldn't find anyone and has to run and fumbles. Let's see what the call is. Was it blown dead? No, the Jets have recovered.
Don't get too excited, because they're going to review this, baby. You know it, and I know it. Was he down? Was his knees down? Bernie kind of thinks they were. They know the review. Here comes Bernie now. He's going to cut back to the inside. He's got the ball out. Tuck the ball away, Bernie. He is not down. It's going to stay. It is fumble. He's not down. There's no way, and that's Hasty on the ball.
Injured Jet player on the field. By rule, in the last 2 minutes, that's a charge timeout, Jets.
They don't care.
Johnny Greer rather emphatic with his declarations.
The Jets, if they have the ball, they do not care, because they're not going to take timeout anyway.
Cleveland Browns have coughed it up only twice in 5 games coming into this 4th quarter, including today. Only 2 turnovers, and had not turned it over at all this afternoon. Right here, time for our Xerox Sports Facts question. And here it is, Paul. What is the largest deficit an NFL team has overcome to win? And we will certainly give you that answer in a couple of minutes. It's a tough one.
$11 million.
Paul, we'll call you later.
You said largest deficit. It's $11 million.
All right, here is the announcement. The play stands. And Bill Belichick, as you might imagine, very upset. It is ruled a fumble by Kozar, who was one-handing the ball as he ran instead of tucking it in. He had the 1st down, but he coughed it up, and the Jets take over with 1 minute and 14 remaining in the 4th quarter, and they have a 3-point lead, and they will just look to hold on to the ball.
And they're taking a knee. Didn't do that in Chicago. Bernie's got to be upset. He had the ball out there, and the amazing part about it is he did have the 1st down. He had the 1st down here. He tucked the ball away.
And we're set. This a quick turnaround for the Sports Facts answer, brought to you by Xerox. The largest deficit an NFL team has overcome to win.
$11 million.
San Francisco down 35-7. Came back to beat the New Orleans Saints 38-35 back in December of 1980.
Close again.
Well, a Jet fumble led to the Browns getting back into it as Blair Thomas, after a reception, coughed one up, and the Browns were able to take advantage and score their 1st touchdown. And here the Browns driving to tie it or to take the lead. Give it right back on the fumble by Kozar. And once again, gets kneeled down. Ken O'Brien, 19 for 23, 195 yards, no interceptions, no sacks. And right here, let's take a look at today's Canon camcorder replay of the game. All right, here it is. You saw it just moments ago. Bernie Kozar in the open field, couldn't find any receivers, picks up the 1st down, and then loses the football.
And it was a great call by the official right on top of it right there. James Hasty was there to pick up the ball. You sad part about it is that the Browns had a first down.
Clock is running. We're down to 30 seconds remaining. And I'd like to thank our producer, David Michaels. Another bang-up job by David and our crew. Director Andy Rosenberg. Our statistician, Mr. Stats, Elliot Kalb. Our spotters, John Betchko, Jeff Fenner. And Paul, welcome back in a big way. The comeback story of the season.
And I'll tell you, it's always nice working with you, Steve.
Defense. This is a defensive foul inside the last 30 seconds. The game is over.
So that is it with the
Thanks,
clock
John.
showing 20 seconds remaining. A defensive foul concluding matters. There would be no way that there would be enough time remaining on the clock.
Right, because it's an automatic first down with that defensive foul that they had, which John clearly screamed at everybody. And it echoed through here because most everybody's gone.
So that wraps it. And the Jets hold on and defeat the Browns by the score of 17-14. The Jets go to 3 up and 3 down with Houston coming up next week. And the Browns now 2 and 3. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire saying so long from Cleveland. NFL Live will be back right after these messages.